Hello. So some of the things you all might be asking yourselves, particularly if you started to read the textbook and find that it's kind of complicated and maybe even dry, is why are you doing this? Well, I would like to suggest to you that real estate could very well be your single most important asset as you age. We see today that most Americans, their greatest wealth is held in their home, which is basically the difference between what you owe on a property and what it's worth today. So let's say you're fortunate enough to get to purchase a property when you are a young person, about 20, and you buy it at a good price and you continue to pay your mortgage. In all likelihood, by the time you're 50 or 60, that property has appreciated significantly. If you haven't refinanced it and taken money out, you now own a free and clear house, since most mortgages are 30 years or less, and you might have a property worth $400,000 or $500,000. Even if you've been contributing to a 401k, we know that historically people's value or greatest value is their home as opposed to any securities. So, talking about real estate and understanding it and its importance to you should be important to everyone, not just real estate professionals. We know that Alan Greenspan, one of our Fed treasurers, had considered ownership rights one of the very basic platforms of democracy. In other words, why would we work hard if whatever we owned could be taken away from us? So again, that kind of ties back to owning our own homes and utilizing the value or the wealth for ourselves. We see that owning real estate can have both positive impacts and negative impacts. Not understanding what you're getting into and maybe becoming over encumbered or owing more money than either you can pay or your property is worth can be the ruination for many. We saw in 2008, which is probably before some of your time in regards to understanding financial transactions, but in 2008, the mortgage crisis that we saw here in the United States was a function of people getting into mortgages or loans against their real estate that either they were unable to pay or as a result of a lot of things that I'm not going to get into all of them here and now, but caused property values to decrease. So even if they purchased the house at what it was worth at the time, as those properties values went down, in some cases by as much as a third or a half, people found that they owed more money than what the house was worth. And many either walked away from their houses because they were unable to pay them, or if they were committed to obligating their loan, paying for a long time for a property that really wasn't worth what they were paying on it. So we see things that real estate is important to us as an asset. Real estate can get us in trouble if we don't know what we're doing. And ultimately, it brings us here today, where hopefully you all are saying, wait a second, I recognize both of those issues, and I want to learn about this so it doesn't happen to me. So whether you are a tenant and have a leasehold interest, or whether you're looking at being an owner with an equity interest, I hope you find the next couple of chapters 1 and 2 of our textbook, important to you. Thanks so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you with our next chapters.